getting quite a bit of speedlings. Looks like quantity over quality right here. And of course, Terran have a pretty good defensive home turf advantage, but slowing down that expansion and being up one of his own will do really well here. Also, he's breaking the gold rock, so he might be going for another expansion.
Yep. He's preparing for that third, and that's going to put him at a 1.5 base up after his second. So here I have my siege tank out. Actually, I was supposed to throw down the command center after 2 siege tanks are out. That's just my build. And for some reason, I had some train of thought that led me to freak out and try to set down that command center early, which I lost minerals over, so it was just a bad in-game choice by myself. But yeah, that siege tank's gonna pop, that second one's gonna pop, and then I'm gonna throw down the command center like I should have in the first place.
Now, Raven, I told Raven this once before, and I'm not expecting him to actually perfect it playing yet, but usually it's better to build an in-base command center that's really close to the minerals and then just float it over, especially if you turn it over into a, what's it called, orbital command first, and then you're able to build up energy while it just floats over.
Yeah, I think it's just a preference thing too. I mean, I like to transfer SCVs over to the expansion as soon as it's finished instead of having to float over. Saves time, you get the economic boost immediately rather than at least a little bit sooner than having the lift off, which takes forever, and then landing it, and then there's all this tension. So I just set down the command center there quickly and guard this choke as best I can.
I like what the Zerg player is doing here. He's going for an in-base hatchery. It has good positioning, so he's able to kind of wall off better against Hellions should they run in, which you won't have any probably, but
No.
I know you don't like Hellions very much.
No, I don't play Hellions.
It completes the creep here. It allows his queens to use extra energy, and he's putting up a lot of spine crawlers for his weakness early game, which you can't. I mean, you said yourself you're defensive, so you won't know exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, he's just started expanding with his creep tumor, which is really good. He really needs to get another one though by these spine crawlers, because getting it destroyed and having all those units slowly dying is not really a good thing. But getting up that gold hatchery, just finishing, that's pretty good. It's going to really set him ahead of you.
Yeah, Ice Fang. I just want to point something out. If you take a look at the army tab, I'm actually ahead. So I could have done a really beautiful timing push here. I just want to point that out. However, I don't. Now let's take a look at the mini-map from my perspective. Look here. I have no scouting information. Now I should have at least, in hindsight, produced at least one heli and just sent it around the map patrolling. So then I could have seen that third at gold and seen these spine crawlers here with this relatively low amount of Zerglings. I mean, what's that? Okay, that's 28 Zerglings versus this force. This force can take out 28 Zerglings very easily. Especially now that I believe stim is finished or about to finish. Yeah, that would be a stim timing. So yeah, these spine crawlers would go down and I'd be able to push on that third. However, because of a lack of scouting information, I'm sitting in my base playing defensive while he plays defensively as well and economically, and he pretty much soft counters my fast expand by getting his third, which is brilliant, by the way. Tsunami's very good.
Now Raven, he's moving his defenses forward too. That's kind of I've seen Zerg players do this, and I really like watching them do that. It's very interesting to me.
Yeah. But
do you think that a scan? I mean, obviously a scan would have gave it to you, but usually you don't like using scans. So what's your opinion on that? Mule versus scan. A lot of players, of course, there's different times to use them, but overall, if you could choose only one ability to have, which one would you choose?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the game, I like to call that a mule, and then for the rest of the game, I don't. Usually. Or at least sporadically I do. I prefer the immediate supply depot, the supply call down, just because it's making 100 minerals out of absolutely nothing. And then I love scan actually in 1v1s. I've scanned multiple times by now, and I just haven't scanned that third because I wasn't expecting it. I'm used to Zergs playing Banelings and Mutalisks on 2 base, which my build is very good against, but against a 3 base, a fast 3, as you can see, I just am not expecting it, and I'm staying in my base and expecting something else. As soon as the second medevac pops out, I'm going to go in a timing push, but considering he went for this mass Zerg swarm, let's count these Zerglings. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, so 24 times 3, here, do quick math for me, 24